My dad loved our last interview, by the way.
Oh, big up that. Big up your dad. Right.
Yeah, big up my dad. He loves your interviews with me. So let's make it rock and roll.
That's a fucking great way to start. This is Charlie Parsons for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on DAZN. I've not said that in a little while. Mr. Gareth Davies live on Zoom. Good to catch up with you. First one of the new year, which feels mental because we're 22 days in. How are you, bro?
I'm very good. First one with me, or your first one of the new
No, I
year?
have done interviews this year, but my first one with you. But I've not done an
Okay.
interview in about a week and a half. I'm rusty.
Yeah, it felt like that. Well, we needed to oil before we got going today. We needed a 10-minute chat. We needed used up the Zoom call. No, it's great to see you. Bit more bearded than usual.
You
You've been down
reckon?
under, haven't you?
I have been down under. I've broken
I
out,
saw pictures of you Bondi Beach because I know Bondi Beach. I saw you there having breakfast with the fishers. Good time down under.
mate. Just nice. Probably I'm not. I didn't switch off because I was still working, but with the time difference, you're kind of so disconnected from the world. So it was actually really nice, and the weather was fantastic. I didn't want to come home, I must say. Uh,
I was gonna ask, was there one day while Boy Bevis was covering for you here, was there one day or one time when you went, God, I could live here?
Mate, every day. You know,
Oh, there you go.
the
Yeah.
only thing, being a little bit of a business control freak, and actually, I'm going to sing Oscar's sort of praises here. He has relentlessly grafted where I was away because there was that massive week of the Ring Mag and then Better Be a Bivol, then the media day for it. Then he was in Belfast, then he had Misfit. So he done about 8, 9 days on the bounce traveling like a
Come on,
little.
let's mark him. Let's mark him out of 10 then. Right, here we go. Because I was with him at two of those.
Okay.
Let's mark him out of 10. So, Ring Awards, how many interviews did he get? I got 26.
We left with 18.
Okay, well, what does he get? Because I got 26. Yeah, he got 18. So, what mark are you giving him?
For the Ring Mag, when I judge views and everything, I will give him a 7.
All right. So, what was the top interview that he got?
Uh, oh, you know what? It feels like so long ago, Gareth. I'm not actually too
Right,
sure.
Canelo.
Didn't get Canelo.
I got Canelo. Usyk.
Look at you, little bro in Oscar. He didn't get Usyk. We
I
didn't
got
get.
Usyk.
Yeah, but who were you
What?
with, Gareth?
I was with the Talk Sport mic,
Exactly. We're not quite talk.
but I was at the end of the red carpet row. Hang on, let's keep going. Fabio Wardley and Moses Itauma together. Did he
No,
get that?
you're just flexing on us now, Gareth.
No, come on, flexing. No, right. Um, oh, Yard and Boazzi together.
Didn't get that, mate.
Bill Haney and Devon Haney.
Didn't get that, mate. Man, now you're making
Um,
me. All right, you know what? I'm giving him a 1 out of 10.
I'll be honest with you. Um, I had one of my best nights
Good.
interviewing people on yeah, because it was so nice to catch up with people. I didn't sit down. I did sit down for a little while, but I didn't eat. I was just working.
It looked
It was
like
a
an incredible
phenomenal
event.
night.
That was the only day that I kind of wish I could have just teleported home and seeing everyone there. I had big FOMO.
Yeah, I've had that feeling that I had to be there. It was amazing to. Shakur was there. Terence Crawford was the only one that wasn't really there. He'd missed his flight, but Billy Dibb, great to catch up with Billy. What a great guy he is. It was a really good event, and it was. Um, I had a lot of fun chatting to everyone. If I'm honest,
Looked
it's one
fantastic.
of my favorite non-fight nights for a very very long time. Right, let's so 1 out of 10 for that for
I know.
Boy Bevis.
What else was the other
Um,
one you were at with?
Even though he's taken over the Parsons throne, it doesn't say much of the Parsons throne, does it? But the following day at the press conference,
Yeah, he did very
remember
well.
Tyson had retired 2 hours before it.
Yeah, he did do well there. He got everyone that was asked of him. In fact, the one thing that he had a microphone problem in his Better Be Ev interview, uh, which opening that text at 11 o'clock at night in Australia wasn't very fun. However, it was only
And
a
Beterbiev was very talkative on the day as
yeah, but
well.
it was only a 3 minute interview, and these things
Yeah.
happen. So I'm going to give him a solid 8 for that day. A 1 and an 8. So he's got 9 out of 20.
Did he get Frank and Eddie on Tyson?
Of course he did.
Did he get Spencer Brown?
He actually didn't get Spencer Brown.
Because that was one of the most telling things of the day. speaking to people like Spencer Brown, and they'd chatted to Tyson in the morning, and there was no indication that he was about to do a 17-second recording on his Instagram and retire. Come on, let's get to that.
That's
Come on,
what
let's
I was
get.
gonna say. I've not spoke to you, so I actually feel it's quite nice for me doing these interviews because usually I can expect everyone's answers, whereas where I've kind of taken myself away for a couple of weeks, I feel like I've spawned back in the boxing shenanigans. And I'm like, what's going on? I did obviously see it, but from what I understand, Frank Warren, Spencer Brown, they were all taken aback by it as well. Do you know any more now in this position?
I think it was. It's one of two things. It's Tyson um, genuinely feeling in that moment, watching all the goings on at the Ring Magazine Awards and the big press conference in London, think I don't want to do this again. I'm done. Or playing with us, and I think he was. I think he was toying with the media because when I arrived at Outernet, having been recording that morning at Talksport for a new show called My Life in Boxing that's about to come out. The I did a U-turn and went back to my car to get my laptop because I saw the Instagram pop up and I thought I'm going to be very busy on my laptop, not just interviewing today. I think the Dick Turpin analogy, the Dick Turpin suggestion of where he wears a mask was Tyson Fury just taking it that little further, and he's a genius in terms of how he markets himself. Because did he feel he was robbed in Saudi Arabia? Was he doing any robbing? Is what he's being offered to fight Anthony Joshua in his mind not enough? So I think that sitting here now, I think he's probably at home. I think I've seen a picture of him with the family and the kids, and they've gone off somewhere, haven't they? Disneyland or I think somewhere like that with the kids. There was a big group photo, all 9 of them. But I think once he's done the rounds with the fam, as you call it, the fam, and enjoyed time at home and felt the love of the family again and given love to his children and Paris and seen all his extended family. I think he'll just let us know, or let his people know, that he's in for one more rumble.
You
And I think
understand
it
why
will.
people get frustrated? So, like when I was in Australia, people coming up to me, they're going, "You know what it's like, Gareth. You get asked these questions that people seem that you have."
What do they really like?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. That people seem to think that you've got this magic sort of, I don't know, wand that you can just waft answers out with. And they're going, "Is Tyson Fury really retired? He's done this so many times, Charlie." Now, I quite enjoy the Tyson Fury show, and obviously, I always say to people, you have to understand he is bipolar as well. Like, it is an actual mental health condition, and he can change up and down like this. But he has done this a fair few times. He's done it in the ring. He's done post.
you did it before you were born. I mean,
Yeah,
that's how long he's been doing it,
yeah,
I mean, almost.
nearly.
But he does do these things, and he is bipolar, but he is also, I think, the bipolar notwithstanding, I just think he's of the nature of, he knows how to toy with his social media, and he's played the heel for a while and has sacrificed being the people's champion, the man in the streets hero. And I think that has switched a little bit, but he'll be missed when he's gone. I think he's only got one fight left, and I think it is Anthony Joshua, and I don't think he'll fight after that.
I sit here now, and it's the fight I've spoke about in interviews since the day I started.
Yeah.
I'm still desperate to see it. It doesn't change. It's weird though, because you had Fury saying even if Joshua loses 8, 9, 10 times in a row, he'd still fight him. I don't know.
But what we don't want.
An offer made that Fury's been insulted by?
No. Maybe we don't know, and they're not going to tell us right now. But I think if you can imagine, they want Turkey Al Sheikh involved. He's not going to get $500 million for it. I did that story years ago, or 2 years ago, about the $500 million before all this Arabian investment came, Saudi Arabian investment came rather. Turkey will be involved in it in one form or another. We know how he has so much time for both Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. He has a special place in his heart and in his business mind for the very biggest players on earth in that respect. And I think they're going to get 60 million each, probably something like that, to fight, maybe a little more. It's got to be Wembley. It's got to be another big occasion. It's a Riyadh season Wembley edition, in my view.
Or the ring.
Or the ring, yeah. Yeah, he could throw the ring belt at them, couldn't he, for some weird reason? But who knows? But it doesn't need a belt. It's the championship of each other. You've got to remember there have been other eras, and this is where the charlatans against boxing, and there are a few of them with big voices out there, forget that that Joe Frazier fought Foreman and was really beaten up by Foreman, but Joe Frazier was still a great character and still had an amazing fight after he'd been beaten up by George Foreman and knocked down 6 times. Still had an incredible 14-round war with Muhammad Ali in the Thriller in Manila, and that's where this era writes people off so much more. Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury are capable of an all-time classic against each other. Neither of them move very much anymore. They're not nimble fighters. They're going to stand and throw.
And trade.
Anthony Joshua is an incredible finisher. Tyson Fury's legs are getting older. He's a different fighter that fought Wilder. He's getting on in age, but it's still an amazing spectacle to consider. Look, without going on and on and on about it, I hope it happens, and I think it will.
Next one, we're seeing articles that I'm just curious to your thoughts on this one. It's a little bit political, but that Sky are potentially not thinking about broadcasting Eubank Jr-Benn. Now, I've read 2 reasons. I've read one reason because of Conor Benn's failed drugs test previously, and I've read another reason about Chris Eubank Jr.'s previous connection with Mazar Majid, both highlighted within the articles I've read. Now, I have to say, I find the previous failed drugs test argument doesn't make much sense to me, because there's been plenty of fights on pay-per-view on Sky in the past that have had fighters involved that have had failed drugs tests prior, or current ongoing situations with drugs tests. What's your whole take on the whole thing, Gareth?
Well, in the words of Meatloaf, you took the words right out of my mouth there, because, like you say, there have been previous fighters who have tested positive for things that have been on Sky events, so that doesn't really hold, unless the whole philosophical reasoning and business reasoning behind Sky has suddenly changed. I don't think it is, because they're into business. So I don't agree with that one. It may just be a whispering campaign behind the scenes. It may just be that Sky aren't actually going to get a look in on that fight, and it's going to be a DAZN fight. It's Turki Al-Sheikh's fight, by the way, and then I know that because he's the one that got it over the line. I'm on record as saying I thought they were ludicrous not going ahead with it even before he got involved, even though it's worked out for them, because fighting over 55, 45 all those months seemed, well, certainly for a couple of months.
They've done individual deals for themselves.
They have done, yeah, but without Turki Al-Sheikh, they wouldn't have got it over.
They wouldn't have got it over.
I think, and it's ridiculous, and it's a blight on boxing. It doesn't look good on our sports that it takes the great benefactor as he is, the most influential man in the sport right now, to get that fight over the line. It's not a good look on the sport, frankly. All it does is highlights the reasons why people were getting frustrated and have been with the sport for a very long time. I don't know if there's any veracity, any truth in the fact that Sky were pulling out for that reason. And secondarily, what was the one on Eubank?
His connection to Mazar Majid, or previous connection to Mazar Majid. But I just I don't know.
The cricket match fixing. The guy was convicted for cricket match fixing.
Yeah, but there's people within the sport that are still involved with him and fight on Sky shows. So I also find that whole.
I listen. It's a good news story. It's an intriguing news story, but I don't think that's the reason why Sky, if they don't. And we don't need to know the details yet, but given it's a Turki Al-Sheikh event, I imagine it's going to be on DAZN. It's going to be a big event, by the way. Really big event.
Simon Jordan did also slam Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, saying that they're living off their father's legacies. I mean, what
Yeah,
did
they are. That's exactly what they're doing. And if it wasn't for their fathers, we wouldn't be having the fights. But that's what this is. This is a bloodline legacy fight. There's nothing to slam about it. It's exactly that. If their fathers weren't their fathers, we wouldn't even be seeing this fight.
Hmm. Just quickly on Simon Jordan,
3%, 3%.
3%, no worries. Just very quickly, I know we were on Fury AJ previously. He called it the battle of the losers. What did you take on that?
Well, I've already commented about this, and I won't go too much further because I don't want to keep repeating myself because I'm not on the attacking Simon Jordan bandwagon at all. But I just don't agree in calling them also rans and losers because they are extraordinarily successful human beings who have not lost their money, and they are incredibly successful fighters, incredibly successful human beings, and they have been. Building the sport, both of them, for the last decade around us while we've worked in the industry. And they are great characters, and we will miss them when they're gone. And this may be the last year of Tyson Fury. It may be the last year of Anthony Joshua. So there's nothing. Look, they may end up being the number 2 and the number 3 of the era, but don't forget, and I've made this point before. Don't forget, yes, of course, Ali and Frazier fought, Ali and Foreman fought, but Ali and Frazier fought for a third time after Frazier had been knocked down 6 times by
Mm,
George Foreman. You can still have major heavyweight fights,
I agree.
even if people have lost to other people.
It's like
It's
turning,
about
and then we
that they
need to
can
lose
still
the
cause greatness for
stigma
themselves with
around
a
the
fight.
O. Lose the stigma around the O. Go a little bit UFC style. You see people fighting for the title that have got 7, 8 losses. I love it. Good. Give them the opportunities that they deserve. Oh, all right. We've lost Gareth. Gareth's phone's run out of battery. Anyway, that is a good way to finish the interview. Bosh.